Hello everyone, I'm Hunter Williams and I'm bringing to you the midweek update. We're here with Christine Ehoff and we're presenting the Northwest R1 School Board Candidates. I am 18 years old and I'm a student at Northwest High School. I'm highly involved in the community and I look forward to doing many more midweek updates. Christine, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Hunter. I appreciate it.
Of course. So we're going to jump right into it.
Okay.
All right. So first hot question. Why are you running for school board and what personal experiences prepared you for this role?
Okay. Well, first I want to start out with my personal experience. So for my previous life in the corporate world, I have 13 years of financial industry experience. I was a licensed stockbroker. So I do understand financial reports and all the fun stuff that comes along with it and financial products. So I believe I would be a good asset for those on the board where that may not be a strong suit of theirs. I have had experience serving on multiple boards since my early days in the corporate world, obviously overseeing the finances and helping with stewarding the success of the organization. I am a small business owner here in Jefferson County. So I do have real world budgeting and leadership skills. I am a taxpayer, obviously, and so I want to make sure that our district has responsible spending and we are successful. And then the three main things that I want to do, a reason I'm running on the school board is to bring transparency, not just financial transparency, but transparency in our policies, transparency in our curriculum, transparency in things that are happening in our school that usually only make their way out on the social media.
Sure.
I want to foster strong communication, not only between my fellow board members, the superintendent, the staff, the teachers, the parents, as well as the taxpayers. And then I want to spend a little time and try to renew our district's reputation. I know that in my business, especially when people want to build houses and move to the community, one of the first things that realtors say is, you don't want to move there. That's a terrible school district. And I don't believe that one bit. I want to champion our school district and I want to get to people to see the great schools that we have and the teachers and the staff and the amazing students that are graduating from Northwest.
That's fantastic. A couple of things you said in there. You talked about your, financial background and things like that. I think it's very important to have a board member, not only a board member, but a board that understands the budgeting, but the responsible budgeting. And I think that's something you bring to the table that that can be strong and be, good for the board. And then also you talk about communication. Communication is key in life. And, having a board that's able to communicate not only with each other, but with the community, with the teachers, the admin, with the, students as well. And so I think that's really huge. We're going to roll it over here to our next question.
Let's go.
All right. So what do you believe is the most important issue facing our school district right now?
Okay, so I think there's several, but the most overarching one that kind of trickles down to, obviously, the students is teacher retention. It is so critical to student success. And I kind of use I kind of think about the example of, your older sibling moves their way through elementary school. They get an amazing third grade teacher and their little brother or sister's 2 years behind and they so look forward. Well, all of a sudden it's their time to shine. They're hoping to get that teacher and the teacher has moved on for various reasons. And that's so harmful to children. It kind of creates just a little bit of, kind of trepidation in the child attending school because they were so looking forward to having this amazing teacher. So I want to support attracting and retaining high quality teachers and staff. In my corporate world, we used to have a motto in HR, and the motto was hire for attitude and train for success. And I still strongly believe that every single day, even in my our small business as well as throughout the school district, regardless of what position, you want someone that has a positive attitude, and you can always train them. So I think that is a huge thing.
Yeah, like you said, I think that's fantastic because, like you talked about teacher retention, having the teachers there to build relationship with students, some people might not realize it, but relationships are key to students and their success in school. And being able to have teachers there that that have these relationships with students and are able to grow these relationships with students as they go on throughout their, schooling career and stuff like that. I think that's huge.
Absolutely.
All right. So rolling into our next question, what steps would you support to improve academic achievement and prepare students for their careers, their college, or their trades?
So one of the things is every student is different. When they walk in up to high school, it's very difficult to figure out what you want to be. And as you kind of progress through high school, the 4 years, you don't know what you want to do. And one of the things that I think is important, we need to prepare students for whether they want to go to college, whether they want to go to trade school, whether they want to go straight into the real world and start working, whether they want to go in the military. So we need to be able to provide students different avenues, whether that would be through career readiness programs for a job in the trades or certification, workforce pathways, college prep opportunities. One of the things I would like to do is, kind of champion expanding partnerships with local businesses and community organizations. One of the key things that we can do is internships, having students reach out to these local businesses and try to spend a day in the life of, whether you want to think that you want to be a veterinarian and you go and you spend the day at the vet and you're like, that wasn't really what I thought it was. A lot of corporations have Bring Your Kid to Work Day. I mean, that obviously was created so students can see what mom and dad do all day. But it also gives them an opportunity to say, well, maybe corporate life isn't for me, or wow, this is way better, way funner than I thought it would be. So supporting students regardless of what their life after high school looks like. Doing that would be also supporting teachers and giving them the tools and the resources they need to be successful in the classroom. Sure. And that's kind of where I think that should go.
Yeah, I think that's great. Kind of my personal experience with that. I'm kind of working right now to bring back our career day that we do at the high school. With COVID and all that, it kind of went away. We faded away from it. But as a leader in the school, I'm trying to bring that back and to where students have the option, to go to that and learn careers that they might want to go into. And that's bringing the community to the school. And so that's always great.
Absolutely. I support that 100%. That was probably one of my favorite things in high school because, and you don't know what you don't know. And there are so many different careers. And I think it is a great and would be a wonderful opportunity to have that at the high school level for kids to get a chance and see what's up there.
Fantastic. All right. So what are your thoughts on LGBTQ in our curriculum?
That's a good question, Hunter. I believe that school curriculum should stay focused on the core academics. Those sensitive topics should be addressed by families and not the schools. For goodness sakes, when we go to the movies, each movie is getting a rating, a G, a P, G, PG-13, and R, and parents get to make the decision about what movie they want their children to see. So I feel that the school districts should always be G'd for general audience, and that anything above and beyond that just needs to be addressed by the families and not in the school. I 100% support parent involvement and transparency in the curriculum decisions.
Fantastic. All right. Like you said, their parent involvement, and that's what I feel like we might do more of is, the parent input and stuff like that. So that's great. What are your thoughts on religion in our curriculum?
That's a good question as well. I believe schools should reflect the values of the community. Every student should feel comfortable expressing their faith. We need to be able to protect that voluntary prayer rights. Students shouldn't feel intimidated to speak about their Bible or the love of Jesus or go and pray for a student who might be struggling. They should feel very warm, open, welcome, and supported. I also think it's very important that we recognize the historical impact of the Bible in history and literature, and I don't think we should cut that out. That needs to be taught, and I also, again, involved the parental involvement in moral and value-based education. I mean, we say the Pledge of Allegiance, it's one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we need to carry that out, and then we need to support that in the schools.
Fantastic. Like you said, we do the Pledge of Allegiance, one nation under God. We need to know, use that God. What is God? I think that's something that's very instored impact that students really learn in their history classes and their English classes. It's literature, you know what I mean? So I think that's something that, is important. So great. So we're going to move on to our next one here. So like you said, one of your biggest issues right now that you think is facing Northwest District is teacher retention. It's a challenge in our districts around the area, right? So what would you do to support and keep good teachers in our area?
Well, I think it's important, again, for competitive salaries and strong benefits. We have to go out and do our market research and see what are other districts paying the teachers. And we need to, not be afraid to look at supporting those positions within the school district that we may need to have a higher pay level for, ones where maybe we're not getting the teachers to fill positions. We don't have a large applicant pool coming in for that. Again, mentorship programs for new teachers, ongoing professional development. Big thing still, again, with me is communication between staff and the administration. The teachers should feel supported. They should be able to go to the leadership, the principal, the assistant principal, and to be able to advocate for themselves and for their students about what they need. Again, recognition of teacher achievements and contributions, which, by the way, I think our school does an amazing job. I see on Facebook all the time at the board meetings, they're just singing the praises of a lot of these amazing teachers that day in and day out pour their hearts and everything that they have into our students. And again, fostering a respectful and collaborative school approach. One of the things I think is important is to getting that parent involvement in the schools. We want learning starts at home, getting the kids to school, and we want the decisions and the things that the teachers are doing to be supported by the parents. And we also want the parents to be engaged and to participate in the learning. You have a child that they're brought to school every day. Parents have spent time doing homework with them, ask them some questions. They're going to be more engaged throughout the day. But when you have children who, for various reasons, don't have the same opportunity, what can we do from teacher level to help support them and to continue their academic success throughout their school career?
I think that's fantastic. So you talked about your financial background and things like that, which is very amazing. How should the district balance responsible spending while still investing in the students and their success?
Absolutely. So the budget is probably one of the worst things that you have to go through in a school district because, there's only so much money coming in, and you have to look at how do we allocate that money for the school year. We need to prioritize classroom-focused spending. We need to ensure transparency in those budgeting decisions. So when we maybe potentially have to pull a program, we need to talk to the people involved in that program and let them know the reasons behind that. We need to obviously look at any waste and improve efficiencies. Big thing is data-driven financial decisions. We need to look hard and see what are the statistics. How did past things where we allocated money to, how did they succeed? What were areas that maybe we need to look at that we can strengthen? So using that data tells the story. We need to invest in those programs that directly impact student outcomes, because at the end of the day, we're here to make successful students, to support them through their journey, and to give them every opportunity to be the person that they were created to be. And we need to maintain accountability of the taxpayers. When we go out and we put a bond issue on the ballot for a year, we are held accountable for fiduciary responsibility of those taxpayers, and we need to make sure that not only all of our decisions that we make impact the district, but also are able to be held accountable to the taxpayers.
Great. I think that rolls into our next question very well, actually. You talked about the taxpayers and things like that. So how will you ensure the taxpayers, the people, the parents, the community members, as well as the business owners of our area, our district, and things like that, have a voice in decisions that are being made at our school?
Absolutely. So one of the things I would like to do is to have the school boards more publicized, to invite the public, to encourage public input, to encourage patron comments, to let the school district, let the families, the teachers, those taxpayers know what exactly is going on, and to not be discouraged, to come to the meetings and have a voice. Again, that's all involved with communication with parents and the stakeholders. Partnering with local businesses and those community leaders, again, making sure that they see where their taxpayer dollars are being spent. And I want to ensure that parents have a seat at the table in those key decisions. And I want to hear the feedback from them. At the end of the day, this again is all about their children and ensuring their success in the school district.
Amazing. All right. So I think it's important. You talk so much about communication. Communication is key to success. Communications and students learning the communication to where they're going out, when they graduate high school, they know how to communicate when they're applying for a job, when they're applying for college. They're confident in their communication. I think that's amazing. And I think that you talking about communication being there for the board, I think that's a great leadership quality and, things for students to look at. And, they're great communicators. And so we can do it too. And so I think that's fantastic. All right, rolling into the next question here. We talked about teacher retention and stuff like that. Northwest is at a decline of students right now. What do you think needs to be done to increase the number of students in our school district?
Absolutely. So I think that's a very important thing to talk about with school choice legislation being pushed at the state level that could have a direct impact on our district's numbers. And again, I think we need to rebuild the trust and the confidence in the district. We need to improve our district reputation and communication. We need to highlight the successes of the strengths in our school. We need to get the public involved in our school district and understanding where those taxpayer dollars are spent. We need to support the high quality academics and extracurricular. Again, retraining and attracting teachers, and we need to engage with the families and make the schools welcoming.
I totally agree with that. You talk about school choice. That's vital right now, is going through legislation in our state right now. I think that's very vital because, Northwest, we're at a decline right now, but we had the opportunity to be at an incline, but we had to be prepared for that. And so preparing our school for what might happen, is that's, making upgrades, making the right days, having more teachers who are proud to be, Northwest Lion. I think that's very important. So to roll into our next question, what is your thoughts on, students going into college versus not college?
So again, as we briefly touched on, I believe that there's no one set size fits all. Students should be able to choose whichever path that they want. College is increasingly expensive. Not all students, qualify for scholarships, and a lot of students just don't see the value in having into the workforce in debt. So I support every student, no matter what direction they want to choose, whether that is college, whether that's even attending just for the first 2 years local Jefferson College, and then going to that more specialized college setting. Expanding vocational and technical training. And again, focusing on success looks different for every student. So what can we do as a board and as a school to support and champion all that? And then preparing students for real-world opportunities, giving them and encouraging them to go out and do an internship program. I do know that the EMS, they have a ride-along program that students that may want to become paramedic to look at that, and they can actually go out and ride along in the ambulance and kind of see the day in the life end. So I 100% support that and giving students those opportunities to explore career paths. And again, back to your point about when you career back. I think that is amazing, and it would help a lot of students kind of hone in on what career that they want to do when they graduate high school.
Fantastic. All right, so if you were elected as a board member, what would you do to make sure the best possible decisions are made for the students?
Okay. Well, I think one of the things is you talked a lot about how Northwest is doing a great job involving the students. So I'd like to take it a step further. I would like to involve the students in the school board. I would like maybe students who are on the student council come in and be an active participant in our school board, kind of to see how decisions are shaped, decisions are made. I would even invite the middle school kids to come in and attend the school board meetings and see what's going on. Because at the end of the day, we try to make the best decisions for our students, but the most important thing that we can do is listen to the students and hear where they feel things are lacking, or hear where they feel that maybe they just need a little bit more additional support in this area. So I would 100% welcome student participation in board meetings.
I think that's fantastic because, like, as a leader in our school and things like that, our schools do amazing listening to us. We're able to voice our opinions and voice our ideas, and we take action on that. And I think it's amazing. Sometimes school board members may struggle with making the right decision because they don't have all the facts, they don't have all the opinions. And so I think this is only another thing that can help our school board members make the right decisions. Not only that, but it's giving the students an opportunity to feel heard and, be accountable to their schools and be involved as well. So I think that's fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to move on to our last question here. It's a hot one. Why should voters vote for Christine Eoff?
Okay. Well, I believe I can bring to the board strong commitment to transparency and accountability. Again, strong communication, consistent, clear communication to the community. I want to focus on restoring and strengthening our district's reputation. My financial expertise and my previous board experience. I want to be an advocate for the students, the teachers, and the families. And I'm dedicated to bringing a stronger, building a stronger, more successful district.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm very thankful for you coming and being on the update, and I appreciate your time today. How can the voters contact you, your Facebook page and email or something like that?
They can reach me through email. It is through Facebook, Christine Eoff, and you can also email me at christineaeoff@gmail.com.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you again. Good luck in your race.
Thank you.
It's a country jam session. Let the music